December 13th, 1979, and we're looking through the family picture book.
We'll start out in September 19th, 1922. On the front page we have our wedding picture and a picture of each of our 5 children when they were 1 year old. Kenneth, Keith, Eloise, Elaine, and Jane Ann.
So here on page 1, all the children are just the same age, 1 year old.
Yeah. Then we turn over the next page. We have when they graduated from high school, each of their high school pictures, and a family picture that we had taken before you went into the service. And then Jan came along, and so it wasn't a complete family picture. So here we have a little snap of all of us after Jan arrived. And there's a few snaps on this of family groups. Yeah.
This is page 2.
This is on page 2.
Wasn't that at Arkadelphia?
No, just our house.
So that's with, down in the corner there,
that's with Jan on.
That's Jan.
Yeah. But this picture was taken at the photographer's up here.
Jeff Coe.
Yeah, just before you left for the service. Then over on this page.
This is page 3.
Page 3, why, here's Ken and Keith and Eloise as a baby, one standing on each side of her. And here in the center is a picture of when our family was all girls. The boys were gone, and we had 3 girls. It's their Christmas tree, and that was the year Jan got a drum for Christmas. That was what she wanted. Down here's a picture of Kenneth and Keith. Aunt Peg took this picture one morning before they left for school. They've got their leather jackets that she had given them, and their dinner pails in hand, and ready to go off to school. Here's Eloise's first day in school, and this is a picture of Kenneth and Keith, and what I always remember of this is Keith sitting here with his thumb sticking up just ready to go in his mouth.
These are school pictures, aren't they? These
yeah, these
little pictures.
Little pictures then were taken at school, and different ones. I don't want to spend too long on each. Over here again is.
This is page 4.
Page 4, and this was taken, I think, to send to you. When using the Philippines, it's a picture taken. Oh, I know what. It was when Grandpa and Grandma, we had the photographer come out to take their 50th
wedding anniversary?
I think it was the 50th. Yeah. And so that was taken at a photographer's, too, by a photographer.
This is down Shepherd Field, I know that.
Yeah,
one.
that's down Shepherd Field, and this is you in your uniform. And this is one of Jan's birthday parties. These 3 were all born at the same day in the hospital in town. Here, this is Jan, this is Ray Mel, and Cheryl Gump. And they had birthday parties together until they started to school. Down here is another birthday party. This is a birthday party for Karen and Becky. Jan's standing beside Karen, and Lynette's standing with by Becky. And here's Elaine with Danny and the Miller
children.
The Millers from up at Zion came down, and their 2 children. Well, here's your wedding, or your graduation picture when you graduated from Moody.
This is page 5.
And Mary Lou when she graduated from nursing. Down here's the wedding picture. You can tell us who these are on here.
Okay, yeah. April 26, 1953, best man Ken Brooks and Don, I'm having trouble now. And then the girls, Mary Lou will have to tell who those are.
Well, there were a couple girls anyway that went over on the boat with Mary Lou, and so
That's right.
they stood up with her then at her wedding.
Don Bengtson is the one that helped us with brigade. He was a Navy boy over there.
Yeah. All right.
This is page 6.
Page 6. And this is a family group. First time you were home from the Philippines. Becky and Karen were just, I imagine Karen's less than a year. She isn't. They're real tiny. And this is another picture of that birthday party of Becky and Karen's. Grandma Leonard is standing with Karen, and I'm standing with Becky. And here's the family. Becky, Karen, Kevin, and Stan all lined up. Now we'll start on a separate page for each one. This is Becky's page.
This is page 7.
This is
Daddy's turning it back here. It's the announcement.
Announcement of when she was born.
Mary Lou drew the picture, and then there is a photo inside of Becky.
Yeah.
1 day old. Picture of her when she was 1 day old.
Yeah. And this is when she graduated from high school. Here she is in her playpen with a monkey.
Yeah, with screen all around it to keep the mosquitoes out.
Yeah.
And this picture down the corner is Francis Court. It looks like they were all ready to go to school there, all lined up.
Yeah.
That's Becky's page. This is page 8.
Karen's page.
Karen's page. Her announcement.
The announcement of when she was born, and a picture of Becky and Karen and Kevin and Daddy and Mommy. This is a picture of Karen. Then she puts in, I had each of the children work on their own page, so she put a family group in then. It's a picture taken photographer, isn't it?
Yes. That's in Baguio.
And I think since the other pictures, why, Stan and Gordon's added to the family. And here's Kevin's page. Kevin's page.
Page 9.
9. And he just worked it over this last summer after he got out of the Navy. And he puts in some pictures of, is this his computer?
I guess so, down the lower left.
Yeah, and here he is working it.
Different ages and different school pictures.
Yeah.
And then this was the Christmas.
Just last Christmas.
Yes, last 78 is the
This
picture.
has got little Doug on.
Doug is finally here on the scene.
Yeah.
That's page 9.
Yeah.
And page 10 is Stan.
Page 10, Stan. And Stan fixed this up. We've got him when he was quite small up there with the family. Here he is with his, what these called?
Plane model, that's the F, the one that Dave Silver was on, the Phantom jet.
Jet. And here is when the girls went over. The summer they stayed with us, they made the trip over there. And it's Karen and Becky and Stan on that.
Everybody's perspiring. It looks like it's a pretty hot day.
Looks like it's a pretty warm day. And here's Stan in his Air Force uniform. Now, page 11.
There's Gordon.
Gordon. And I asked Gordon to fill his page. He put licorice on here with him. And the announcement of when he was born.
Yeah,
but
he'll probably get you some more pictures.
Something happened. He never got the page finished yet.
So we've got quite a bit of space there. And then here's Douglas.
And
page
here's
12
Douglas's page, and we haven't got it very far yet either, but there's Grandpa holding Douglas with Kevin and Ken standing behind him.
Well, both Gordon and Douglas can help with their page.
Yeah, there's room for both of them on there. So we'll turn to, this is Keith's starts Keith's page, and it's a picture of Keith and Cleo's wedding. And Ken and Wayne Barton stood up with him, and those that stood up with Cleo was, can you name them? This is, which one of them, didn't they name Lynette after him? Lynette is the name, this one, and Marie. And here's Jan peeking out, and Jan always talked about this wedding. She's just a little tyke there, and she's kind of peeking out between the girls that stood up with them. And she always talked about when her and Keith and Cleo got married. Here's Keith and Cleo when they were juniors in high school, and here they are at their breakfast table shortly after they were married, when they got back from their honeymoon, and they're sitting at the table. Down here they are, down at Aunt Roberta's when we went down there for a Christmas shortly after they were married. Here's Lynette, arrived. That's our first grandchild. And here's a family group after Tim joined the family. Here's Lynette and Danny. And I guess this is the only one with Tim on yet.
Here's page 14.
Page 14, here's Lynette as she lit candles at Eloise's wedding. And then we had some pictures taken with Grandpa and Grandma. Grandma's holding Lynette, and here in Grandpa Shank, and on Cleo and Keith right behind Grandma, and with her parents, Mr. and Mrs. Barton, beside her. Then this is Mrs. Barton's father. Over here is Grant and I, and of course, Grandpa and Grandma Engel.
So you've got quite a few. You've got 3 great-grandparents then, don't you, there?
Yeah, 3 great-grandparents.
In that picture.
And here's a 4-generation picture on the Shank side.
Lower left corner.
There's Lynette and Cleo, her mother, and Hazel Barton, Cleo's mother, then Mr. Shank, Hazel's father. 4 generations. And here's 4 generations of Engels. Keith is holding Lynette, and Grant behind him, and then Grandpa Engel. Over here is with the 3 great-grandparents, Mr. Shank and Grandpa and Grandma.
Oh, those are real good.
Here's Tim when he was the first Christmas. They sent out a Christmas card, I think, with Tim's picture on. Looks like he was doing well. This is Lynette with a clay elephant. And up here's a picture of Danny when he was down at deaf school with Olathe. Lynette, Debbie.
Okay, so let's see. Well, this is page 14, or...
Did I miss a page?
Yeah, I think this is 14. But it's not marked. On the back, it's 15.
Oh,
so this is 14.
Well, here's a picture of Lynette before she was married, then a picture of her and Mark when they were at their wedding. Then this is a Christmas card they sent out after Lynette was married, and little Erica's on the picture. There's Debbie and Mark, Danny and Tim standing behind the couch, and Keith and Cleo with Lynette and the baby on the couch. Over here's a little picture of Lynette. One time when Uncle Lloyd and Aunt Peg were back, this is what we used to call Cousin Willie, the Brittany that won so many prizes.
This is page 15.
This is Debbie's page. We've got a picture, a very good picture of her out at Sterling College. It's taken in colors, and the trees have the leaves turned red. And then here's the family at that time. Keith, Timmy's small enough that Keith's holding him up to be up even with the rest. And there's Keith, Timmy, Cleo, and Debbie.
Okay, this is page 16.
And this is Lynette. This is Eloise's wedding. Up here it's Mr. and Ms. Grant Engel request the honor of your presence at the marriage of their daughter Eloise to Mr. Kevin Dyer, Saturday, the 31st of August, 1957, at the Gospel Chapel. A little note at the bottom reads, "Teach us thy way, O Lord. Unite our hearts in fear of thy name, to fear thy name." And here's Kevin and Eloise, with Kevin's brother as best man, Alan, and Lynette with her candle. And down here in front is little Jan Staley, who carried a basket of flowers. Now Eloise stayed with Virginia and Ben when Virginia came home from the hospital with this little Jan. And she come home telling about what a cute baby it was. She thought it was just the cutest baby she'd seen. So she had her in the wedding party. Then Elaine and Jan also stayed up with her. This is a picture that was taken as a passport picture when they came home from Australia after Mark was born. And here are the three children, Mark, Beth, and Craig. And here's a Craig with his 1-year birthday cake with a candle on.
That's page 16. Now we turn to 17.
17 is a later picture of the Dyer family with Mark and Beth. Mark's on her mother's lap, and Mark with Kevin. Down right below it is a picture after Craig's joined the family, and he's must be about a year old. Here's Mark and Beth. Beth's getting a little bit of hair, but Eloise was quite disappointed that she didn't have any hair. But she, as we see down here, she has a good head of hair now. Up here's the fireplace in the home that they moved into, and with all three of the children sitting in front of the fireplace.
Okay, this is page 18.
This is Elaine's page with a picture of her and Charlie the night they were married and her wedding party. She has
that's Ben Staley over there.
Ben Staley and George Easter were ushers. And we have the same little girl, only a little bigger, little Jan Staley, because she is Charlie's niece. Why, Jan was flower girl again at Elaine's wedding. Then, who is that?
That's Janet. Is that Jan?
Oh.
Is that Jan?
I guess it's Jan there, and then Kathy Myers, and Ethel Friesen's daughter. They stood up with her. Here's two pictures of Cheryl and the announcement wedding invitation. Mr. and Ms. Grandingle request the honor of your presence, the marriage of their daughter Elaine to Charles K. Corkle, Saturday, the 6th of June, 1959, at the chapel in Abilene, Kansas. Here we have another four-generation picture. There's Grandma Ingle holding little Cheryl and Elaine and Grant. Here's Scott when he was a little fellow, and Chris. We don't have any late pictures of them on here, but...
And this is 19.
19,
Page 19.
we turn over. Here's some... They're getting big enough. I think they're getting some school pictures now. There's Cheryl, Cotton, Chris. And then there's a picture of them in front of the fireplace in the little apartment they lived in until they built their house. And there's just Charlie, Elaine, and Cheryl.
Okay, this is page 20.
This takes us to Jan and Ken's wedding with Lynette and Carolyn Horst, yeah, standing up with her. And Beth and Cheryl were little flower girls. And Ken has a friend from college, I don't remember his name, and his brother Gordon standing on him. Here's little Grant, and here's Susan. And since Ken is a pharmacist, the announcement says a new formula. Grant Stephen was born in Victory 103-6 Victory Avenue, May the 14th, 1969, weighs 8 pounds, 13 and a half ounces, and he's 21 inches long. Good health. Formula, every 4 hours, apply love constantly, Jan and Ken Horst. Then here's the announcement when Susan was born. Susan was born in Salina, Kansas. Date, 3rd month, 13th day of 1973. She weighs 8 pounds, 4 and a half ounces. Jan writes at the foot of it, at the end of it, she says, "We still can't believe it's a girl." Oh.
21, page 21.
Page 21, we have Jan as Honey Queen. Then across from that is Football Queen. She's with 2 of the other Honey Queens in the Honey Queen, but she's alone with just her bouquet of flowers and a football for her Football Queen. Here's a wedding picture. Again, the same group as over there. Down here we have a little change. Becky and Karen and Danny and Debbie. They helped at the wedding. They gathered up the little plates and things after they had ate, and they wanted their picture with the bride. So Jan's in the center with Danny and Debbie on one side and Becky and Karen on the other. Down here is Grant Horst riding his hobby horse. He must be a little over a year old, I'd say. And there's a picture of Jan and Ken with their plates filled. This is at the wedding.
Okay, this is page 22.
Now this takes place down at the Kansas Bible Camp. This was while Grandma Engel was down in bed, and Grant and I weren't there, but the children all got together down there at camp. And I told them to take some pictures, so we have a family picture here of all the children and 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 grandchildren. This is Jan at this end. This is before she was married, and little Kevin standing in front of her looking up at his daddy and Mama with Mama holding Stan. Then there's Charlie and Elaine, and Becky standing in front of Charlie and Karen in front of Elaine. Next is Kevin holding Mark and Eloise. Then Keith with Danny in front of him, and Cleo with Debbie and Lynette in front of her. And down here is a group then that was taken about the same. No, this is later. This is in 1964. And Kevin and Eloise are here for some reason or other. We had to get together. And Scott is a baby. He's sitting on Elaine's lap, and Mary Lou's holding
Gordon.
Gordon.
Gordon? Yeah, that's 64.
And down the front rows, Debbie, Karen, and Cheryl. But at this time, our grandchildren were 12. They were even, 6 girls and 6 boys. After that, we didn't get any girls for a long time. They were all boys. Here are the 5 children lined up. They're not lined up by age because Ken stands beside Lane because Keith grew taller than he did, so he stands at the other end beside Elaine. And
it's like I'm standing on something too.
Eloise, Jan, and Elaine, Ken.
Yeah, 1966.
This is that same time down camp. That's
Yeah.
about 1960, I think, or 61.
I don't
See,
have a date on that, but this is 4 years later then. This is
4 years, yeah.
64 when you were at home.
Yeah, with Gordon or with Stanley just a baby. Well, that must have been about 60 or 61.
This one was taken after we moved down here.
This was taken about the first year after we moved down here. We had to get together here, and there's Orville and Lois, and Grant and me, Roberta and Wendell, and Leila. We had a little picnic out here. I think it was when the Dyers came down that summer.
This is page 23, I think, on the back. We haven't had that yet, have we?
Well, this is just the grandchildren sitting on the couch. Lynette's holding Scott, and Becky's holding Gordon. And Cheryl on one side and Beth on the other. The back row is Stan, Karen, Danny, Debbie, Kevin, and Mark. Then on this page we have a picture of the whole group at our 50th anniversary. And the front row is Grant and I in the middle, with Keith, Eloise, and Ken on one side, and Elaine and Jan on the other. And then, right behind each of them, is their family. And Ken Horst is holding Grant. He's the only one they have at that time. Then there's Charlie and Cheryl, Scott and Chris. Then Keith's family, Cleo, Danny, Debbie, Lynette, and Tim. Then behind Eloise is Greg, Beth, Mark, and Kevin. And Ken is Mary Lou, Becky, Karen, Kevin, Stan, Gordon. And they were all at our 50th, and all the children and all the grandchildren that we had, and our brothers and sisters were there too at that time. Oh, here we start in on the Ingalls.
This must be page 24, huh? Or 20? Yeah, we have a number on that.
Oh, this I was left out somewhere or other, but it belongs right in here.
Well, we can tell what it is by just
Yeah.
the people that are on it.
This was taken out in California. And Kenneth was 3 years old. Sister Peg and Album. My dad and mother and Mabel Hall and Dave Hall. picture.
That's in the upper left.
Right. In 1918, this is a picture of my folks. This year I graduated.